to God, okay? I'm on a very specific mission.
We have to identify who the real enemy is. We have to know, where does this infiltration come from? The American people need a warrior that's unafraid to point out the real enemy. The American people are deserving of truth, exposure, and extreme accountability for the crimes against humanity that are being committed. We're on the brink of the complete collapse of America, while at the same time at the precipice of an amazing victory. If we want to prevent our children from facing a future bloodbath, I mean, I'm talking mass amounts of bloodshed, we need to step up and fight this war, and we need to fight it now. Uncensored. I refuse to be silenced or muzzled. Unafraid. No man will intimidate me. Unstoppable. All of you know me by now as one of the world's largest skeptics. I don't believe anything that you have to say. I'm sorry, I just don't. Maybe it was part of my bounty hunting career. Yeah, everybody lies. I haven't seen my son for 3 months. Well, we found him in your basement. It's amazing. I was just about ready to turn myself in. Is that why you were hiding under that couch? These shots are safe and effective. Really, because the patent says that they're bioweapons. Can you explain that? I'm an America First patriot. Really? Then can you explain these ties to the Taiha Institute or the Humpty Dumpty Institute, which, by the way, work directly with PLA officials? You're a communist? Really? America First. Interesting. We've uncovered a lot here on the network. The Stu Peters Show, since its infancy, has been about saving lives, right? Improving the quality of life in people. Well, being a skeptic, obviously that means anything that I talk about here on the program is something that I personally do. So if we're talking about a magnesium supplement, that's because I take it, I believe in it, it works for me, I'm introducing it to you. That's why we don't advertise for these big globalist corporations. This is why we're dissident to the Western medicine industrial complex. This is why we have a dissenting point of view to the American media industrial complex. This is why we're 100% opposed to the military industrial complex and all these forever wars and dropping bombs on millions of innocent people in the name of enriching and empowering people like Lindsey Graham or warhawks like Nikki Haley or eye patch guy Dan Crenshaw. And this is why over the last 7 weeks, I have been a little bit more forthcoming about my transition, my personal transition. Some of you have seen the difference in what I looked like 7 weeks ago versus what I look like right now. And I owe a lot of that to this little stupid patch where I was a big skeptic. Now found out that the patch isn't stupid. It is little. Wear it every day. It's called X39. It's from LifeWave. A few weeks back, we interviewed a guy called David Schmidt. David is the inventor of the X39. He holds the patent on the X39. This is legitimate age reversal technology. No medicine in these patches. No poison in these patches. You simply wake up in the morning, you put it on. Some people put it on their C7 vertebrae in the back. I put mine just below my belly button, my navel there. And in these few short weeks that I've been wearing this patch, I have seen a few things. I have seen a dramatic increase in my energy. I'm doing 2 workouts a day instead of 1. I'm lifting more than I ever have. My muscles are recovering. The rest that I'm getting, the sleep that I'm getting, absolutely unbelievable. The collagen production in my body must be back because I have this glow in my skin, which is also tightening up. And some of the fine lines that I had in my face are now going away. So physical changes are starting to occur. My posture is better. Let's see, short-term memory has come back. I am processing information faster than I ever have. These are just some of the initial effects. And a lot of people don't start seeing physical stuff because these things are working on the inside. They're working on the stem cell repair, rejuvenating, replenishing, birthing, like fixing your stem cells. So if you're dealing with chronic pain or inflammation, or you had surgery, or you have a diagnosis, or you have cancer, or you're supposed to go radiation and chemotherapy, the other poisons, or if you are diabetic, if you're dealing with these things, which a lot of them are caused by inflammation, I'm convinced that without inflammation, we wouldn't have cancer. I'm convinced that without inflammation, we wouldn't have pain. Well, Western medicine tells you you need anti-inflammatories. You need to reduce the anti-inflammatory markers in your system, blah, blah, blah. Take this Advil, take this ibuprofen, pop these Tylenols, ruin everything else in your body, but we will mask that pain for you. If that doesn't work, hey, we could maybe get you hooked on heroin. We could contribute to the opioid epidemic that we have in this country. We're going to give you muscle relaxers and painkillers. Yeah, we'll put you out of your mind for a while. You'll just be in this oblivious state of, I don't have any pain. Or just go drink, get drunk. Use illicit street drugs. Great idea. Or how about this? We're going to inject that joint of yours with steroids. Yeah, that'll be really great. We're going to put a bunch of volume and fluid in a place where volume and fluid is not supposed to be. And then we're going to tell you that we fixed this thing. Or how about this? None of that's going to work for you. Oh, you're out of your mind and you're high on heroin now. Now you're like going and seeking. Okay, how about this? We're going to like start cutting you open. Like we're going to do this surgery and we're going to put pins and screws and needles in you. And we're going to like break you apart and put you back together and turn you into some cyborg. You need knee replacements. You need hip replacements. You need shoulder replacements. I will tell you that also, in addition to the things that I've seen since being on the X39 patch, which, by the way, don't take my word for it. Don't believe me. Don't believe anything that I have to say about any of this. I want you to do your own research, just like I did. That can all be found. The scientific research, the scientific findings, the peer-reviewed studies, the anecdotal evidence, the physical evidence, the patents, all that can be found at uncancelablehealth.com. Again, that's uncancelablehealth.com. Do the research for yourself. But another thing that I found is the shoulder pain that I dealt with. I have endoclavicular arthropathy from a baseball injury that I had. I've been dealing with it for years, over a decade. It was debilitating pain. I could not incline press. As a guy that likes to, take care of myself and be in the gym and lift, I couldn't incline press. I couldn't do dips. I couldn't do chin-ups. I now have no pain in my shoulder. I can attribute it to nothing else other than this little patch that previously I was a huge skeptic. Ron Moret was a skeptic too, but he likes to try things. He likes to, he's more into holistic treatment. He eats, all Amish foods. He doesn't poison himself, but he was very interested in age reversal. And we want to hear more about his testimony because we like hearing from regular people on the platform all the time. That's why Ron is joining us now. Thank you so much for being here. What do you do? What led you to this? And what have you seen?
Oh, Stu, thank you so much for having me on the show here today. I really appreciate it. And I got to tell you, I'm a skeptic too. I'm just like you. I don't believe anything. I really don't. I'm a super skeptic about so many things on the market nowadays. And, I live a clean life. I live a holistic, healthy way of living. And I always have, well, not always, but I have recently in the last decade or so. And, I think what really led me down this path was hearing the stories over and over from trusted friends about the patches. That's what got my attention. But I was still a skeptic for, I'll say, a full year and a half. I heard about this. I heard about the patches. I heard how great they were. I still didn't believe it. But hearing my friends, who I trust their judgment because they're not doing it just to sell a product, hearing their stories finally got to me. And so I took a flyer on it. I took a chance just to add it to my repertoire. And I'm really thankful that I did.
Okay, why are you thankful? What have you seen?
So I can tell you this as well. So what's interesting is I remember one of my associates, Crystal Tini, was telling me that it takes about 6 weeks for the patches to kick in for most people, and maybe it's sooner for some, but about 6 weeks. So about 4 weeks into it, I really wasn't feeling a whole lot, and I started. We're a society that we want a quick fix, so we expect results fast. So I had to kind of push that to the side, my mental trickery. To get me off track, which I was real close to. And about 5 to 6 weeks in is when it kicked in. And I could feel it immediately. I could feel the sensations. I could feel the attention, my awareness, my clarity. And like you just touched on, I go to the gym daily. I was working out twice a day when it kicked in.
Isn't that weird? Yeah, I was telling a golf pro, Michael Michaelides, we had him on a while back. And Michael I was telling the story, like I showed up at the gym. I normally work out in the morning. I was there in the afternoon, and the people at the desk were like, what are you doing here? It's, this time, this is my second workout today. Didn't even really realize that I was going back for a second. Well, obviously I knew where I was going and I knew what I was doing, but it didn't dawn on me that, wait a minute, I can't believe that I have the energy to do this. And, I'm working completely different muscle groups, but I also worked those muscle groups yesterday. Normally I don't do that because when you're working out the 3 R's, resistance, repetition, recovery being the most important, you have to allow the torn muscle, damaged muscle to rebuild itself. That's how muscles grow. Well, I felt no fatigue in my muscles at all. And so here I am. I had one of the most epic workouts, one of the most functionally strong workouts that I'd had that day. And now I've just been doing 2 days since. So I go do my cardio in the morning. I do some kettlebell swings. I do a 12%, incline, 3.5 mile an hour for an hour. I mean, so it's like 2 miles, 3.5 miles an hour. But, you're going at 12% grade uphill. So, and then I have the energy to go back in the afternoon and do weight training. And it really is helping me to make a fast improvement in my body. I've also noticed that the skin is tightening up, like all these things. Have you noticed that you feel younger? And what was it when you said these things automatically, they just started working? What was the most impressive and shocking thing for you?
Yeah. So the lines kind of go away a little bit, and you and I are getting up there in age as well. You know what I mean? So for me,
I don't know. Hey, speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. I'm going to live till I'm 150 at least. Yes.
But all those little things you start to notice more, and for me, I don't have any glaring ailments that a lot of people do that turn to the patch, that they find these results or they're searching that medicine for. So for me, it was just a rounding out a well-being, a good solid way of living and prolonging my life in a positive way. But I started to notice the little nuances of my being, my vision started to come in a little more clear as well, which was interesting. The stamina, the facial appearance, it was almost a glow that was, I was like, oh, I noticed that, which is nice. But one of the other big things was my hair. I had heard some of the people who have hair loss issues or, balding issues. Now, I have a nice head of hair, and I'm thankful for that. But mine started to come in thicker and grow back quicker. Now, I keep my hair pretty, trim and tight, and I probably get a haircut maybe every 10 to 14 days. I had to start going to my barber almost weekly just to keep it clean like I like to, which was very unusual. I mean, and it was very noticeable, thicker, darker, and growing at a much faster pace.
Well, Ron, we told a story about a guy who's 70 years old who was bald for 15 years. And when I say bald, I don't mean some stubble here and there. No. I mean like bowling ball head, shiny wax. Nothing is penetrating that firmament, right? Nothing is growing on that surface. No way. For 15 years, he was like this. He is on these patches and has a thick, full head of hair, not even like receding hairline, a full and thick head of hair. It's insane.
It's wild. And it just shows the medicines and the modalities that are out there that have been hidden from us, for generations.
Yeah, what are you going to do? You're going to go poison yourself with some of this minoxidil or Rogaine or whatever the hell that is called? No. Like, I'm not interested in that. I would rather be bald than to poison myself. People go in for Botox. Yeah, people go in for facelifts. People spend tens of thousands of dollars, especially if you're in the entertainment industry or if you're on TV. I've never considered it. I will not do it. But people do this all the time. Look at Sean Hannity. His whole face is filled with Botox as he goes up there as this bloviating blowhard and reminds you to get your next booster shot. These people are sick. They're so vain. But if you knew where the fountain of youth was, what would it mean to you? How much would you be willing to pay for that? If you could say, well, for $99 or $100, whatever it is, I get a 30-day supply of these things. I got a full money back guarantee. Well, wait, these guys are saying, well, maybe 6 weeks. Okay, so I'll try 3 months, 90 days. I'll try this thing. If I don't like it, I get a full money back guarantee. But what people are paying to feel younger, to look younger, to be more attractive, to have sexual energy and stamina, I'm going to tell you right now, that came back really quickly. I'm lifting weight. I mean, all of the things that are happening on such a short time period for me, just a few weeks, I can't wait till 90 days. And if you decide that you want to get off of them, if you decide, well, I don't want to reverse the aging process. I want to stop reversing the aging process, then get off the patches. But every one of you that tries these things, I guarantee you, well, I'm not going to guarantee. I'm 100% positive, though, that you are going to stay on these things. It's actual age reversal. On cancelablehealth.com is where you can find all of the scientific research and studies that go into this. And there's no medicine in these patches. There's no poison in these patches. It's literally taking God's light, reshining it back into your stem cell for the rejuvenation of your stem cells. So it's treating everything from a cellular level rather than masking or cutting or filling your body with poison. This is actually happening. Julie, who you may know through Crystal Tini, she actually put a patch that was used for 6 hours, which you use these things for 12, took half of her patch, and she's stingy with her patches from what I understand, put it on her dog just out of curiosity. Her dog couldn't use 3 legs for like years or whatever. She was carrying this thing around. Within a very short period of time, I don't remember if it was hours or days, this dog is up on its feet using all 3 limbs, like running around. I mean, it's just... These are things that, like, a testimonial like that, I couldn't even think of. Your dog, like 3 legs, like really now it's running. Her son is a gym rat and was very bulky, but not cut because, you know, he's inflamed. And inflammation causes that, you know, gym like bulk, but to get like cut takes a lot of... He didn't change anything except for wearing the patches, and now he's shredded. He's just completely cut up. I mean, I have seen... so many amazing things. We had an RN who was a nurse throughout the entire pandemic who became a patient herself, who like literally had a broken leg or femur or hip or something, and like put these patches. She was supposed to like lose her hip and have a whole replacement. And then the surgeon was like, after being on these patches, was like, I don't even need to see you as a patient anymore, much less have a hip replacement. The stuff is amazing. And the pain that I was dealing with my arthritis, my endoclavicular arthropathy, I'm too young for that, man. I don't have time for arthritis. Like now I'm working out and I have 0 pain in my shoulder. The only thing that I can attribute it to is the X39 and the Eon patches that you get at uncancelablehealth.com. I mean, I'm the biggest skeptic turned 100% believer, and I can't wait to make believers out of skeptics when you guys try this. It really is the fountain of youth. I got to go. Final words from you, Ron.
You echo all of my sentiments. I mean, you and I are the biggest skeptics that I know, and to be able to witness so many people that we value their opinion have so many wonderful results, that says it all. When you're listening to a trusted source and they're giving you the feedback, that's more important than anything else.
Yeah,
you know?
And I've never lied to you. I've never lied to audience at home. If you're listening at Apple Podcasts, Roku TV, Fire, Amazon Fire, whatever platform, Rumble that you're viewing this program on, StuPeters.com. I'm telling you, I've never lied to you. I'm not asking that you believe me all the time. I'm not saying that I've been right all the time, but I've never knowingly lied to you. But still, don't believe me. Be a skeptic. Don't believe me.